Today I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, bring you a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, bring you comics news, reveal the books I bought this week, and, if I screw up, a blooper reel. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and you are watching the 4th anniversary episode of the Comic Hero Show. Now kick that logo! Welcome to the 4th anniversary episode of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. Coming to you from Southern Rails Comics and Games here in Ruston, Louisiana. And there's someone else who wants to say hi to everyone. Come here, JJ. Y'all, this is JJ Gunter. Y'all probably seen him in a couple of stills that I do on social media. Say hi to everyone, JJ. Okay, he's playing the shot game today. But anyway. 4 years. Wow, 4 years. 2013, Wednesday, October 2nd, 2013 was when I first started doing the Comic Hero Show. And during that time, I've done 183 episodes. I've had a whole bunch of different special reports and abbreviated episodes. I worn over 100 tees. And out of those 183 episodes, I've done 4 of them over at Louisiana Comic Con. I did 3 of them in Lafayette, and then 1 in Shreveport, Bossier City earlier this year. Oh boy, but I tell you, I just feel very humbled and blessed that I've done it this far. And I just hope God will allow me to do it for even much longer than this. And also, I want to thank each and every one of y'all who have been watching from the beginning. I know there are quite a few people that have been watching from the beginning, and then I know there's some folks that stopped watching. I want to thank them also. And then there's some folks that have been watching who are no longer with us. And like for example, earlier this week, was 2 years since Clint Thomas, the original owner of Clint's Comics, passed away, and then it was a year since one of my very loyal viewers, Kayla Shereby, passed away, and I want to acknowledge them also. But I just want to quote something that my good friend Mike Hart from Monroe had told me right hours before I did the 100th episode a year and a half ago. He said this, and I quote, "You keep doing your show and don't give a damn what anyone thinks." End quote. All right then, it's time to give away a free t-shirt. All right, last week's episode, I asked, although he's the king of Atlantis, name the fictitious town in Maine where Aquaman is from. Well, the correct answer is Amnesty Bay. And 4 people have answered correctly, and because they've answered correctly, their names have been entered in a drawing for a free tee, and that drawing takes place right now. So, the winner of the free tee for this week's episode of the show is... Yes, sir! The person who gave me those words of wisdom right before I did episode 100. Mike Hart from Monroe, Louisiana. So congratulations, Mike. You win yourself a free Comic Hero tee. All right. Here's the question for next week's episode, and this one is a Star Trek question. Now, the original Star Trek series, what is Nurse Chapel's first name? Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee in next week's episode of the show. Now then, D'Angelo Blue from Warren, Ohio has requested a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, and this one features 2 women who are built and will beat the living daylights out of somebody. Representing DC, we have Big Barda, and representing Marvel, we have She-Hulk. These 2 are going to duke it out in a segment I like to call
the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Welcome to the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Today it's Big Barda versus She-Hulk. Big Barda possesses superhuman strength, durability, reflexes, speed and longevity, is a master hand-to-hand combatant, and an expert with various types of weaponry. She-Hulk possesses superhuman strength, speed, durability, and endurance, and a regenerative healing factor. Who will win? Big Barda would have a slight upper hand on She-Hulk since she's a master of hand-to-hand combat. She-Hulk would have to rely on her raw strength. At first, this fight would be evenly matched from a physical standpoint until She-Hulk starts getting stronger. Any attack Big Barda attempts on She-Hulk would be thwarted. Big Barda decides to end it by sending She-Hulk via boom tube on a one-way ticket to Apocalypse. Big Barda wins, and that concludes this fight on the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown.
Alright, well I hope you enjoyed that fight, and if you have fight requests for future episodes, contact info is down there. Alright, now it's time for Comically Speaking, so without further ado, let's talk comics! Alright, there are only three things I want to talk about in this segment of Comically Speaking. The first thing is for what's in store in Season 4 of The Flash. Now, in the season finale, The Flash finally takes down Savitar, aka an evil version of evil futuristic version of himself. And just when they were celebrating, the Speed Force begins to engulf all of Central City. And good old Barry Allen, aka the Flash, by the way, decided that he knew he had to go, because in order to save the city, a speedster had to enter the Speed Force, and he was it. And that's how season 3 ended. Now in season 4, to my understanding, Kid Flash, aka Wally West, decides to oh, by the way, if you're hearing a lot of banging, that's JJ. But Kid Flash takes it upon himself to be the protector of Central City, and during this time, he ends up a looming threat ends up coming to Central City, and then it's too big for Wally to take on, so they decide to somehow go into the Speed Force and find the Flash. Well, they do, but the only difference is Barry is a little different from who he was when he went into the Speed Force. In this one, Barry, after being in the Speed Force for some time, he's more sure of himself. He uses his powers a lot more intensively than he has before. And it's almost like we're going to see the comic version of The Flash. And the season premiere of it is this coming Tuesday. Can't wait to see it. I'm very excited about it. I mean, everyone who knows me knows I love me some Flash. Alright, now the third thing is the upcoming Gambit movie, in which Channing Tatum is going to play a lead role. Now, for those of y'all that have been watching earlier episodes of the show where I've done Comically Speaking, y'all know where my stance is about Channing Tatum playing Gambit. Not really a fan of it. I think they really didn't give Taylor Kitsch much of a chance after he played that role in X-Men Origins Wolverine. That's just my opinion. But we learned about who's the villain is going to be in Gambit, and it's going to be Mr. Sinister. And he's going to be played by none other than the current James Bond himself, Daniel Craig. That's right, folks. Daniel Craig is going to be playing Mr. Sinister. Now, when I was reading this article, I kind of raised an eyebrow about that, because I'm thinking, okay, I don't know if this is going to work. But then I thought about it, and it could actually work. I don't know if Craig is going to bulk up for this role, because if y'all know what Mr. Sinister looks like in the comics, y'all know that he's kind of ripped. But I guess it could work. All right, the last thing. in February of next year, Action Comics will come out with its 1000th issue. Now, Action Comics to date is the longest running book in comics. There's going to be a lot of, and DC has a lot of stuff in store for that. They're going to come out with 1,000 variant covers. You heard me right, folks. 1,000 variant covers. And then this is all, and you know, the 1000th issue couldn't have come at a better time because next year, will be the 80th anniversary of Superman himself. He debuted during the summer of 1938 with Action Comics #1, and then there are also going to be classic stories to go along with that, including the origins of characters like Superman, Supergirl, the Human Target, Brainiac, and so much more. And at the very end of Action Comics #1000, there's also going to be an essay by DC editor Paul Levitz, and they're going to be a bevy, and I mean a bevy of backup stories, including one by the team that wrote Action Comics 11 years ago, Jeff Johns and Richard Donner. Now, we all know the story arc that the now instant classic story arc that they did called Last Son, where they, along with penciler Adam Kubert, did this amazing story arc where Superman and Lois take in General Zod's son and adopt him as his own. But that, we all know that didn't really last very, very long, but it was great, and I enjoyed it, and I'm so excited about Action Comics #1000. I mean, I always knew that once, a little over a year ago when DC decided to go back to their original numbering, I knew that it won't be long until this comes out. And hopefully, if the Lord says the same, we'll all be able to, I'll be able to present it as one of my books in the episode in the week that it comes out, and I hope we all get to read it. All right, that's it for Comically Speaking. Now then, let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
All right, I'm not going to give a brief description of these books. I'm just going to reveal what they are. Okay, first up is Green Lanterns #32.
Okay. But we can get it.
Batman the Red Death.
And a lot of the other image styles, though.
Yeah.
Black Panther #17.
Just started.
Black Panther #18. Batman White Knight #1. Spider-Man 2 #3. Wonder Woman #31. All New Guardians of the Galaxy #11. Superman #32.
Well, yeah, I've got some of the older stuff.
Deadpool #36.
I got a few boxes left.
And finally,
Everything I had when I was a kid burned.
Star Trek Boldly Go #10.
Yeah, me too. But they were pretty.
All right, now that's 11 I bought, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 8,218. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Here's the question again for a free tee for next week's episode of the show. On the original Star Trek series, what was Nurse Chapel's first name? Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tea in next week's episode of the show. And congratulations to Mike Hart from Monroe, Louisiana, who won a free tea in this week's episode. All right, it's birthday time here on the Comic Hero Show, and happy birthday to Ken Carter. Happy birthday to Jonathan Todd. Happy birthday to Kay Arnold. Happy birthday to Mona Quan Liang. Happy birthday to Chad Burley. Happy birthday to Pastor Curtis West Jr. Happy birthday to Jamarce Harrison. Happy birthday to Nisha Fletcher. Happy birthday to Dawn Phillips. Happy birthday to Ginger Champ. Happy birthday to Glenda Hughes. Happy birthday to Kenna Prossman. And a very special happy 7th birthday to Asher Hale. Oh boys, 4 years, folks. Oh man, you know, it's just, 4 years, 183 episodes has just gone right by. And then other special reports and abbreviated episodes along the way, and over 100 teas. I think that's the one thing that a lot of folks watch the show for, the teas. But y'all should also watch for, because it can also be a little educational and informative. One of my friends, I had 2 friends that I was in band with at ULM a few years ago, and they had a short-lived sports podcast, and they were asking me, what's the secret of doing something like this? What are your words of wisdom? Well, I only told them 2 words. Don't stop. You see, when I decided to do this back in 2013, on Wednesday, October 2nd, 2013, I knew it was a commit. I was making a commitment. When you host something within a realm like this, whether it be comics, whether it be sports, whether it be weather, whether it be news, whether it be politics, anything like that, you're making a commitment. And that commitment is you cannot stop. And you should not, I'm going to allude to paraphrase something that Mike Hart had told me. You can't care what anyone thinks. You just got to keep going. You just have to keep going, folks. I mean, even if nobody watches or listens, keep going, because eventually someone is. And there's going to be someone that's going to watch, and they're going to think, man, this is awesome. I want to listen or watch this every week. And the same thing for my show. There is always at least one person, or maybe 2, that always say, okay, I'm going to watch every week. But so if you're watching this and you're aspire and you desire to host a web series or a podcast, remember, you're making a commitment. And you can't stop. But really had a lot of fun. I'm gonna post a bevy of pics for they're on social media, and including this cake and this cookie cake that James and Jennifer had made for me. I mean, God, y'all have no idea how thankful I am for y'all. I mean, y'all didn't have to do that, but I thank y'all. Y'all are such wonderful people. This is my 3rd month doing episodes. Well, 4th month doing. Well, the 4th anniversary at the beginning of the 4th month of doing episodes here at Southern Rails Comics and Games. How about that? But 4 months ago, well, really 3 months ago, I started doing episodes here at Southern Rails Comics and Games right after Clint's Comics closed his doors for good. And I have to tell you, I miss doing episodes at Clint's Comics. Lord knows I do. But at the same time, I love every day that I come here. Every episode that I've done here, it's just wonderful. It's amazing. And Claire Chandler, I know you're watching this. I want to thank you also. Because after you bought Clint's Comics, 2 months after Clint passed away, you kept it open for about 17 months, and let me tell you, that had to have been some of the greatest 17 months ever. So Claire, love you, girl. Oh, and also my friend Will Stroud, who's actually visiting his mom, whose mom's in the hospital. Will, love you, bro. Miss Virginia, I'm going to continue to pray for you. All right, it's been fun. Let's keep doing this. I'm Victor Nunley. I'm the Comic Hero. I'll see you next week for episode 185, right back here in Southern Realms Comics and Games. So until then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero.